What's going on, guys? It's Darklight Alex here, and today I'm doing something different. So, what I'm gonna do is power scale Yu-Gi-Oh monsters, something that I noticed is very rare in the Yu-Gi-Oh community, which is understandable because it is something hard to do with this particular series, as it is not based on monster fights specifically. Thing is, I figure out a way of doing it, kinda. The amount of information and the correlation of these with my ideas is a lot to talk about. So I'll split this discussion in 2 or 3 videos, as to not bore you all with my ramblings and stuff for 40 minutes, okay? First things first, I had to set some rules for the scaling. These ended up being: Rule number 1. Normal monsters flavor text will be used to help me scale the monsters. I might break this rule later on, but hear me out, guys. This is hard to do, okay? Rule number 2. I'll be using some anime feats when possible. And rule number 3. I'll try to fill in gaps with reason when possible, but it will be basically headcanon sometimes. So the way I'm applying these rules to is going to be by correlating them to attack and defense stat points of the monsters in the card game. Seems sketchy, I know, but I found a lot of stuff fitting in this logic. With the boring rules and initial intro out of the way, let's get into the scaling. So first, let's look through the weakest monsters possible in stats, which are 3. Thousand Eyes Idol, Soitsu, and Hieratic Seal of the Sun Dragon Overlord. Right now, we can't know how powerful these are considering 0 attack and defense stats, but there is a hint. Proton is a monster with 100 attack and defense, and being a particle, it seems to be of no apparent harm, so we can assume the previous monsters will be of no harm either. So let's set this at below human level. I know, looks weird, but follow me here, guys. Another monster to put a threshold on can be School Servant. As his flavor text points out, he isn't strong, but can be troublesome in large numbers. I'll assume, based on that he is a human level monster, as being an alive human skeleton might not pose the biggest threat. A group of him sure would. Now, this can be scaled to every monster with the same stats, so that you guys stay in the same page as me. Any monster with similar stats in my logic can be said to have the same general power, maybe comparable in strength, speed, or special abilities, as we will see in the future. Moving on, we have Hitodencheck. Yeah, I butchered this name. So its flavor text says it can melt almost anything by spitting acid. Okay, let's not use a no limits fallacy here. I believe that this is a potential all level monster, and that comes with the fact that it is a giant starfish, as we can see when we look at some video games. By sheer size alone, and being able to produce acid, I think it's not too far-fetched to say it can melt walls and similar stuff. Having 600 attack, we can scale monsters like the Petites, for example, with it. The next one I choose to use is very interesting. The Furious Sea King is said to be a king of the seas in control of massive tidal waves in its flavor text. That's some pretty good feat right here. So I looked through this and found some impressive stuff about tidal waves. Some of the biggest ones can reach 55 feet or almost 70 meters in height. And this is without counting on tsunamis. As the card says, he can summon massive tidal waves. I can safely assume he can summon these taller ones that would put him at around small building level, because these bigger waves have been shown to destroy houses and small constructions sometimes. Having 800 attack, we can say small building level is a threshold for these stats, and it correlates perfectly when we check another monster called Root Water that has 100 more attack than Sea King, and his flavor text reads, he can call again, a massive tidal wave. Moving on, having just 100 attack more than Root Water is Unknown Warrior of Fiend. Reason I picked him up was for the speed feat he has in his flavor text, which states he creates intense vacuums with his speed alone. Researching into speed vacuums, I found that cars usually create these vacuums as they go by, just going at about 50 miles per hour or about 80 kilometers per hour, which puts this warrior's speed to at least this amount, whether it is in combat or travel speed, as he is said to slice through heights with his speed. And again, guys, this might be scalable to monsters in the same stats category. Next interesting monster to scale is Sandstone, with his 1300 attack and 1600 defense. And I say this by size alone, as I believe him to be really big. Again, Yu-Gi-Oh cards can deceive the monster's size. Looking at the card art, it's evident he has tentacles even bigger than himself. I'd say he should be in the building level range by size alone, possibly city block level if highballing, but let's play safe here, okay guys? So, until 1700 attack range monsters, I really couldn't find up any card text with any feats besides Meteor Dragon that kinda backs my logic up. Hear me out. So I'll have to use some headcanon here and assume that between 1400 and 1800 we have a range of building to multi-city block level threats, as we're gonna see a big spike in power despite a low amount of attack and defense points increase moving forward. The last card I'll be talking about for today is Sonic Duck, having a very unique art and sporting a nice 1700 stats attack. Both the name, art and text of this monster states him as a sound barrier breaker, as it is said in his flavor text. He walks at sonic speeds, and we can see in his art that he has a sonic boom of some sorts around him. This will put his speed of at least Mach 1 or 765 miles per hour or about 1235 kilometers an hour, which makes him at least sonic and probably supersonic, as his art shows him just casually walking and apparently having a good time. It would be pretty funny just looking at Duck ramming some buildings over. So, with all that being said, I'm gonna end this video here. And believe me guys, the best is being served for last, as the next monster levels will include some insane feats and showings as we progress through my scaling. So thanks for watching guys. Be sure to like this video, subscribe if you want more of this type of content, and let me know what you guys think of my scaling, my logic, my reason, on the comments down below, and if you agree or disagree with these. See you guys in the next part. Bye bye.